Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're doing a bunch of new stuff today. Marc Jacobs, YSL, Violet FR, maybe, but mostly all the newness stuff is Marc Jacobs and then the new foundation from YSL. So I think I'm just going to tell you guys really fast. I'm going to try my best to be really fast to tell you what we're trying and then we put it on. I don't want to put it on and then stop and then describe everything. So, got the mascara, all of the like packaging are so cute. So this is the joystick balmy blush stick. The shade I got is 310 cherry teas, and it looks like this. I'm sure you guys have seen all over the place how fun the packaging is. I have thoughts on that later. We're gonna talk about it. I picked up every SKU from the new release except the eyeshadow, and that's because I forgot. I thought it was in my basket, and then when I got the package, I was like, "Oh, I didn't order eyeshadow. Oops." But whatever. I have. I'm fine. Um, the mascara. This has a little star balloon on it. What is this called? It's called Flashes Volumizing Mascara. I want them to come out with a lengthening mascara because that's what I usually prefer. I have volume in my lashes. I like length. I need a mascara to give me length. Anyway, the next thing here, I picked up the eyeliner. So all of these things, I'm hoping they perform the way the previous Marc Jacobs did. If they use the same labs, formulas, all that stuff, just maybe new packaging. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna use this today because I have contacts in. Maybe I will, and we can test if it's really good for like if you're a contact wearer, if it's contact safe. Because there's certain eyeliners, I just feel like it moves, and I don't got time to be out in the world with blurry vision. Without my contacts, I already have astigmatism real bad. We don't have time for that. Anyway, this is the long wear eyeliner, drawn this way, and the shade is Take Notes. It's blue. Oh, and it has this little cute star here. I don't know. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I didn't want to get black because the amount of black eyeliners I own, please. I feel like I'm missing something here. Something is missing. What is this? Oh, the lipstick. This is Heart On, and the packaging does have a heart. Can y'all see? And just has the name. The shade I got is 107 Mutuals Only. Last but not least, if I wasn't going to get anything else, this is because Marc Jacobs is one of the pioneers, not really, but one of the brands that people just used to go get bronzers from. They just knew it was great bronzers. I feel like it was the first brand I saw with the gigantic bronzer, like in the style of the Armani and the Charlotte Tilbury one. Anyway, this is Legally Bronze, such a cute name. Sculpting bronzer, and the shade I got is medium deep plus. So my shade is 45. We'll see how all of this performs. I have here the YSL. Oh, I didn't show y'all that. Oh, I just dug my finger in that. Is this not matte? This is not matte? Anyway, this is what the shade looks like. So I know, have a good feeling that that's gonna sculpt me real good. But this also has the thing. This is a daisy, like the fragrances. Like the fragrances. I realized that that's what this was. Um, Moving on to the YSL Skin Affair Soft Glow Cushion Foundation. My shade I got is DC10. All of these arrived a week ago. I have not had time. And when it arrived, I was out of town, so it's just I ordered DC11, and when I was in New York, I swatched it. It was too dark. in a good way. So that means we have it was too dark. So hopefully this works out. If not, I'm still gonna keep it because summertime. One, two. It's nothing a concealer can fix. The other one was just much darker, and I just feel like if I try to play it off with bronzer, warm up my face, concealer, all of that, it's gonna look muddy, and I want it to look really good. The last thing I have this newness is this Violette FR blush. She's so pretty. And the shade here is wow. I'm gonna put it on the screen. I don't speak French, and I'm gonna Souvenir de Volublis. If you're French, don't be upset. Don't be upset, okay? If you speak French, don't be mad at me. I'm gonna annotate it on the screen. And this is what that packaging looks like. And I have two of the eyeshadows as well. I have yet to try those. Now, I do have two blushes. Oh my God. See, this stained that fast? I picked it up. Okay, so we're gonna do the makeup. We're gonna do the makeup. But I just want to say, this packaging is really like, from accidentally scrubbing my thumb with that bronzer and I just moved this. See how it already just got dirty? That fast, just now. So what I wanted to say was, I think the packaging for us makeup lovers and younger people, I feel like this is very fun for us. If you're into makeup, you're going to love this. This looks to me like a collector's item. And I just like the shape of everything. We already know this does not go well with all of our square and round bottles that majority of all makeup comes in. This won't really fit in anywhere ergonomically in your, well, let me speak for myself. And a lot of the things, we have organizers. This doesn't, you have to find a way to store it. But I think it's really fun making makeup packaging fun again. I'm sure the performance is going to be there, and I think if people can get past the packaging and the performance works for them, they'll get it. The other thing I wanted to say is I feel like people that want performance in their makeup and don't care about the packaging, and older people, they're going to skip this. They're going to skip this. I think he has alienated half of his previous clientele. I don't know a woman that's not into makeup and think this is great and fun, that's like in her 40s, that's going to buy this. I can guarantee you. They're going to be like, this looks gimmicky. It just doesn't look classic and timeless like his collection looked like before. It was sleek. I think there could have been a way to make it fun and still sleek. This is just it wouldn't surprise me if years later the brand is still going to be around and they shy away from this or subdue it a little bit. Because it looks very gimmicky. But I know I had a lot of the older Marc Jacobs stuff, and the performance was just there, especially the mascara. If Marc Jacobs didn't sell nothing else, he sure knew how to sell a mascara and eyeliner. And then the micro liner, a lot of clients, a lot of older ladies, when I was at Sephora, when we had what do you call it, Marc Jacobs, and just like, in all the black sleek packaging, I felt like that eyeliner, it was just easier for people to put on. It's very, 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 very tiny. Hourglass has something similar now. That's the only brand I know that has a pencil that thin that I can think of. Anyway, let's get to foundation. I'm really excited about this YSL cushion. I still have my All Hours. I still have my All Hours foundation. Hopefully I finish it this summer, because it's such a great summer. And I think they're also coming out with a newer version of that as well. Not too sure, but I think so. Now, I'm going to be watching Alpha Longevity and how this foundation performs. I'm just using my Danessa Myrick blurring balm. I use it for everything. And I want to see how this plays well with it. Now, I've never used the cushion foundation. I have this from Tier Tier. They sent me two, and I never tried it because I think the darker shade was even too light. I gotta reach out and be like, can you send me a darker version? So, this comes with it's like a spongy kind of thing. Let me show you the actual sponge part. And what I noticed is it's very dense. It's not as porous as a beauty blender. Oh, I gotta open this. Gotta open this. Here goes something. Let's see. Oh my god. If you're new here, hi, my name is Bisola. I'm a pro makeup artist. I like to get new makeup, try them, and see what would go in my kit or what is just meant for me. Oh, I like that. I would say this is medium. I like that. It does have a scent. I can smell it already. Look at this side of my face, and you could even see how I took it down my neck. Now that, I think, let's pull. Let's see if that blends that way. Hmm. For some reason, I'm almost feeling like this is gonna hold up really, really well because it's a cushion and because of the primer I just used. Because that my primer already is kind of, it gives longevity. And I think me pressing this in, it's kind of like when you lock in your makeup with powder. That's what it's giving. I will say you got to be careful and make sure you get every part of your face because I feel like if you miss opposed to a brush, if you miss a spot, it can be very visible. I was gonna say if you don't like fragrances in your makeup, you prob it's not crazy, but you may be like, I'm in the minority of liking fragrance in my makeup. Sorry. Not sorry. You guys see that when I did that? You could still see the part that I missed. So around my lip area. But wow. This won't take this long if I weren't doing this video. I just want to say, I feel like if you get this would be great for people that love to do their makeup on the go. Excuse me. Just trying to move my head so y'all can see how it covers. It is giving glow. It does say it is a glowy. She's gonna glow. I will use a brush to blend out my neck though. I don't see this blending my neck the way I need it to. Go over my ear. I'm gonna be testing out a lot of things with this foundation, and at the end I'll let you guys know. So then this is the thing, because I don't like makeup smear and dirt and stuff on. I didn't read what it said how to store this. For full face coverage, gently press the entire puff into the cushion and lightly tap onto the skin. From the center outwards, tap with the tip of the puff for precise application near the nose, chin, and under eye. Reseal the inner lid. Always use I read that wrong. Reseal the inner lid always after use to prevent the formula from drying out. It's refillable, tested under dermatological control. So I just put this that I just put on my face back on here like this. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. And I think maybe this is why I've never. How sanitary is this? Oh, this pulled a lot. Look, I just squeezed it out. Look how much came off. That's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna have to wipe that. But y'all, she's a cutie. I like the way this looks. I'm looking further at my mirror there, and up close, it looks really good. It looks really good. Now, because that's just the way I am, I'm just gonna blend my neck area because the stamping. Okay, this part, y'all just, I'm just gonna put on concealer and speed through the stuff that's not new. Okay, so I can see that I really don't feel like I have anything on. um, the way I blended the concealer into the foundation, it wasn't disrupted, but I had a feeling it wouldn't be because this motion of tapping your concealer or blending it with a sponge is the same thing we just did with the foundation. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I really like that. So I'm going to, because this is a cream blush. I'm trying to see how I want to do this. I'm going to set my face, going with the cream blush, because I think everything else, guys, I have mascara on. I forgot that I was just like, wait a minute. I feel like I need to, there are other things I need to try. We're gonna try this on the bottom lash, but in another video, we'll do another video where we can try how good this is, because it's really hot outside. It's only 10 a.m., 10:30, 10:30, and it's already like 86 degrees outside. So I want to see how this is going to perform in the heat. But I'm really upset about the mascara now. I just realized that. I was like, I already have mascara on, but we're putting bottom lash mascara on. So I'm going to set my face, like I said. Step one of setting my face. And then we're going to go in with the cream because I want this to lock in. Oops. Sorry for all the noise. Also, the Violette FR blush is like a cream to powder. So I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs on one side, the Violette FR on one side, whichever color I end up loving the most for today, because I know I'm going to like that color as well, is what we're going to use. I'm really upset about this mascara. It's staring right here, and I'm so mad because I wanted to be able to test that out. Anyway, I am twisting this up, and I'm going to pick up a brush and then apply said cream blush. I'm not going to swipe it on my face because we know better. I can tell it's pigmented because one swipe already gave me this. So, and I don't remember if I mentioned earlier, I feel like I did, but the shade is 310 Cherry Tease. And then, even though it's on my brush, I'm going to go on my palette and just tap it out a little bit. Well, that was much subtle than I thought. Maybe don't tap it out. Let's do that again. There we go. It's not as punchy as I thought it would be, which, you know what, is good, because if it was as punchy as I thought it would be, it would have it would have gone on my face very intense. But I also think it's because my face is not powdered. I usually do powder, cream powder, but I just wanted to see how it stands alone by itself because most people don't do the technique that I do. And I want this to be fair. Like, some people would just swipe it on or, use their fingers to blend, but this is pretty. I don't know if any of my cream or liquid blush, if I have this specific color. I have one from Bobbi Brown, but it's a deeper cherry. Um, I like this. On the other side, let me grab a different brush for violet because I still want it to be a denser brush. This blush in store, it comes with a kabuki brush, so that's why I'm trying to use a denser brush like the kabuki. So I'm just, yeah, this is coming on here. This smells like a cookie or like a macaron. As you can tell, the Marc Jacobs is punchier compared to both of them. And like I said, it's because my face is still creamy. So both of these blushes are blending into the creaminess of my concealer and foundation. If my face was powdered, it would be brighter than this because it wouldn't be blending so much into the creaminess of everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little more. Let's see what that's like, if it builds up or it just continues to blend in into the cream. But yeah, it builds up. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it's because it's more matte. I kind of like the Violette FR, so I'm gonna pick up more and try to blend it on the Marc Jacobs one. Of course, this is gonna change the color, so I'll have to pick up the brush I use for Marc Jacobs so they can be the same color. So I'm not out here looking crazy, y'all. I really, really like that violet on my cheek. Because when I swatched it, I didn't have makeup on, so it was much brighter. They're similar enough. It's similar enough for what we need. Okay, let's close this up. This is still redder. So that's what I'm gonna do. And for my under eye powder today, I think I'm just gonna go with my RCMA No Color Powder. Oh my god, I hope y'all can't hear my belly singing. And I kind of want to use this because I want to see how, once I sweep this off, what that looks like without using, because a lot of the other powders I use, they're translucent, but they still have a tint to them. I just want to see the true color once I blend all of this out. Because the RCMA No Color Powder is a transparent powder, not a translucent powder. So I'm just going to sweep this off. I like that you can still see that the blush peeked through. And I know this is new stuff. Usually when I use blush, when I use a cream, like I mentioned earlier, I always do powder, cream powder, and I use the same color of a powder version and the cream version. Now, you don't have to do this. Powder blush is not meant to set. Cream blush is one or the other. Or if you're extra like me, you do both. I like to do my makeup for longevity when I'm out. I'm out almost all day. I don't touch up my makeup. I rarely do unless like the other day I forgot my mom was rushing me. I forgot to set my face with setting spray and powder. 2 hours later, I look like you poured hot grease on me. Well, maybe not hot grease, hot oil, something. I was not a good look. So I like to do the way I do clients' makeup, especially like brides or people that are performing, is the way I like to lock in my makeup. That's why I do the sandwich method. And you know who I learned this from like a long time ago? Y'all don't want to hear it. It was Patrick Talk, the way he's been doing blush. But, anyway, I'm gonna go back in with the Violette FR because I'm really loving this shade. I am going to go back just to top it off because she's more of a cream to powder, and I have stained this. So I'm gonna wipe it because see if this focuses. So I have to wipe the top because I used my brush without setting my face with powder first and lock all my cream in. But I'm gonna go over my blush. I really enjoy the way this looks. Next thing I'm gonna do is something that I just always do under my eye. After I love the intensity that my blush gives me and my desired payoff, I go in with Sephora Collection Micro Smooth Powder, and I just, because I always like to give my under eye extra brightening and lock it in, I just go in and marry whatever powder I have under my eye to my blush. So you see it's just like a nice blend, where here you can kind of still see the little bit of a, not a separation, but you can see that my powder is here and my blush is here. So I just going to give my under eye smoothness and a blurred into my blush. If I weren't going anywhere and I wasn't like, now I gotta go, I go back and forth with my blush brush and this brush till you see, you're like, how did that even blend so well? That's what I like to do. And a lot of the times when I'm sweeping powder off around my eye area, I close my eyes when I have contacts in. I got a boo-boo earlier from my mascara. I should have known. I should have known. I think I'm really loving my makeup right now. And where I'm going, I don't want to do too much, but right now I'm doing enough. This kind of too much is me doing enough. Now let's go into bronzer. I'm excited. Let's bronze. I use a smaller brush for my bronzer, especially. Oh my God. I almost feel like I don't like the way this is opening. This is the second time I open this, and my finger has dug into this powder. What's going on? Do I love that? No, I hate it. Anyway, I use a smaller brush around my forehead when I am bronzing because I have a smaller forehead. I'll make sure to take a picture for y'all outside in natural light. But what's going on? I don't know. I didn't immediately fall in love with that. But let me try again to open this. Maybe it's because I don't. Okay. Because the way you open this, the slippage, I was like, why my finger keep getting caught in the powder? Anyway, I purposefully didn't contour today. I just want to see what this bronzer is going to give. I feel like 30 minutes to an hour when your makeup has just like settled into your face, that's when you can be like, oh, yes. Like, I still really like my makeup now. I feel like in another video, I'll try to do another video of um, me using the blue eyeliner and the mascara because I want to be able to do a look focused on the eyeliner to see what it's going to give, how long it's going to give. I really don't want to use blue with my makeup right now. So I'm so sorry. I thought I was going to use it. I thought I was going to use it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see what I want to add and take away. I don't think I want to take anything away. So I'm just going to wrap up my makeup and we're going to talk about stuff. I feel like that is as close as I'm going to get it. So we're just going to put on lips, and this is Mutuals Only 107. I'm looking at the box trying to see if this is match. I don't think it is. I'm looking at this. I don't think it is. Okay. I want y'all to see the true color before I use lip liner. That's what it looks like. And I'm now glad I didn't use that blue liner. I just need this, even though these would be complementary in a way. So that's what that looks like by itself. But me being me, I'm going to use lip liner. You can see the difference already. Ideally, this blush color probably wouldn't be what I would wear with this lipstick. But you guys see the color, what it looks like on me. With that being said, I think I'm gonna take off this color. It's not giving me what I need in lip color. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Much better. I know it's very similar to what I just took off, but this is pinker. I don't know if it's reading pinker on screen, but in person it's pinker, and that's what I need. The other one just leaned a little too warm for what I wanted. So I'm gonna do two sets of setting spray. This first, and then the Charlotte Tilbury matte. Okay, I'm at this stage where I know I really like my makeup. Let me look at the wand of the mascara. If it's big, I'm not gonna use it. Oh, let's try the mascara under my eye. You can see it. You can obviously see the difference. But I think we will be able to see a better, bigger difference with it on my actual top lashes. But I'm going to finish this. Yeah, I would say this is not ideal because it's not meant for that. But, oh, not my screen going darker. But this is not ideal for bottom lashes. The brush is too big. And I feel like if you're not careful, it could have gone everywhere. Even if I wasn't careful just now, it could have gone everywhere. But I can tell this is going to be a good mascara when I add it on my top lashes. Um, like I said in another video, we'll try out the blue mascara. I kind of want to do a fun look with it and just see how that lasts. And I'll try to also make sure I'm wearing my contacts when I do that because I want to make sure that it's contact safe. If it's not, I'm not, y'all know I'm not going to lie to you. Even if it was sent to me, if I paid for it, I always say this: you're spending your hard earned money. If it's not worth it, don't go out and buy it. Okay. So at the end of my day, I'm going to report like I do with all first impressions just to see how everything worked out, didn't last, and we will talk about it. But for now, I am satisfied with my makeup. And you guys will see me later. Okay. So I'm back. The time is 6:57. So this is the least amount I think I've had my makeup on. Usually when I do my makeup in the day, I will say I think besides the blush, I'm trying to see if y'all can see. My skin just has like a barely natural glow. Like it just looks really nice and natural. My nose, you can see, got a little oily, and right here. Um, I did have sunglasses on. Usually, sometimes I wear glasses when I wear my makeup. Sometimes I wear my contacts. Today I had contacts on, but I had sunglasses on because the sun is doing its job. The sun is doing its job today, and it was 94 degrees. So, with that being said, I feel like in the weather that we had outside, I'm like, did my eyes crease? Yeah, it did. Um, I was in and out of cool air, hot air, cool. It withstand the weather because there was a point where I was like really, really hot and probably felt like I would sweat. It was just like really hot. There was no sweat that came through anything. And my makeup has stayed intact, but you guys can see. Let me try to move closer, like where I can see it, just like right here. The glasses took off just a bit, and I feel like it's because I didn't really use a lot of foundation in that area. Usually, when I have glasses on and I have a lot of makeup in that area, a lot doesn't come off. Some people say when they put less, a lot doesn't come up. For me, it's the opposite. And I see that here because I do this a lot. And I do it a lot. I notice when I have my contacts on and I don't have shades on because my eyes are so used to being protected because I wear glasses. I've been wearing glasses for a long time. Just in the past year, I started wearing contacts, and I feel like I do this a lot. So that's always a good test for me to know if a foundation is gonna settle right here for me. It's just air. I guess my eyes are is not used to air just hitting it. I'm walking, and then the car had AC on. Oh my god, all the things. So I'm like doing this a lot to kind of filter out a lot of air just hitting my eyeballs. If you have perfect vision, what does it feel like to be the universe's favorite? Hmm? Okay, because I don't want to get premature wrinkles. Anyway, um, yeah, I can, y'all can see it because I can see it. My nose did get oily, and I'm just trying to remember that I put a good amount of primer on my nose area, but my cheek is glowy. And I feel like I made the right decision in the way I went with my blush because a lot of people complimented my blush. And because of my makeup today, I gave out 3 business cards. 2 people wanted to book me. So, you know, that's how a lot of the time I always like to have my face glam because even if I don't have a business card, I'm my own business card. My face is my business card, but also I have my QR code on my phone. So, anyway, I feel like this has held up well. I don't remember if I put primer on my nose or not. I feel like I did. Also, remember all over my face, I only used one powder. And just because I wanted to see how it will hold up. I know if I used like my Givenchy here and the Huda Beauty, I feel like I would be more matte. I generally prefer to look more matte, but this is also okay with me. This is one of the areas where if I take like you know the beauty blender tier flat one, I'll annotate it on the screen. I like taking that with me. I don't really use powder or anything else to touch up. I just pat away any oil. And I notice I only ever get this oily when I'm trying out new products because my regular products I already know how they work. I know how they stay put. So I love the convenience of this, and I think I may get another one to put in my travel bag. Or maybe this will be my travel because I really, really like how compact it is. I know this is not going to be my everyday foundation, but I really enjoy the way it looks on my skin. It's still like I realize I have makeup on when I look in the mirror. It doesn't feel like I have anything on. It's very, very comfortable. Um, the test I always like to do is going back in with my sponge or powder to if I were one of those people that touched up on the go and see how good this is at being touched up. So let's do that right now. I'm not dipping. Can I speak? And dabbing into any powder, just whatever was on this puff. This is what we're gonna try to use. As you can see, let me sweep that off. Let me not be that person. I feel like when you're touching up, you would do all the right things to touch up. Just don't want that to leave a weird residue. But as you can see, it didn't take away anything. My skin still looks good. It didn't feel like I added anything on. I want to come closer so you guys can see compared to this side of my face that's more glow. So, um, if you want, actually, I feel like if you have another sponge, if you are a cushion wearer and you feel like you want to touch up, just have another circular sponge in here, and then just dab as you go. You could do that too. But I think this is the one I'll actually put in my travel bag. Um, because I know it's not something I'm gonna reach for every single day. But it's also smart for like maybe I want to have makeup on, but I'm in a rush. I know this is perfect. This is like now could be my go-to foundation. I also have concealers that come like this in this Inglot. So I love things like this for travel. I think this can be a lot of people's travel bestie. Like it's a beautiful foundation. I really like the way I feel so comfortable. But majority of my foundations feel like that. They don't feel heavy. I've never had a foundation where I feel like it's cakey. It's actually a reels and shorts that I'm about to make on how your makeup that you buy is not cakey. It's you. It's your application. It's not the makeup. It's you. The liquid and cream makeup don't come cakey. Hello? Anyway, I in my next video, I really want to put these two to the test and excited to use these. And I feel like I have another new bronzer. I still have the Fenty one, and and a new blush we can try. Maybe in the next video. It's the new NARS blushes. The shade I got was All Access, and I can't wait to try that. But so far, so good. All of the things that I've tried from Marc Jacobs so far, I didn't notice, and I forgot to take pictures outside. I'm sorry. I went to an event and we were taking lots of pictures, but I forgot to take pictures, and I'm really sorry. I'm about to go wash my face. But maybe it's just the way I felt when I applied it initially. I thought it was patchy, but it's not because I looked outside before I left, and on performance for the Marc Jacobs, I knew I would like it. The lips just wasn't the right color for the makeup I had on already, but it was comfortable. I don't know if I mentioned that when I put it on. It was really comfortable. It was creamy like the other, any creamy, I almost said foundation, any creamy lipstick. It just felt comfortable upon applying it. And it gave a really nice pigment payoff. I will say that. So if you were excited and if you like the way the packaging is not going to bother you and it's not so gaudy, because for me I think it is gaudy in a good way, for me. because this is just like a statement piece. I like it. I feel like all of it, they all have different, like the blush has this daisy, the lips has the heart, and the, what do you call this? The mascara has the star balloon. Everything is just, I like it. Um the bronzer as well. I like the color. I really like the color. Maybe the next time I'm gonna use a different brush or a different foundation to see. But I like the color. I just, when I was opening this earlier, y'all, you already know I mentioned this. I just, and that just happened again. I feel like because right here has this. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Focus. Right here, there's a there's a dip, and when you open it, my finger kept sliding, and it almost just did it again. I don't like that. I feel like the top part should have been that, and the bottom should. I just don't like that. But the color itself is great. Of course, your fingerprint is gonna go all over the thing. It's already doing that, so if you don't mind that, great. I think some people will be turned off. I mentioned this earlier from the packaging, and some people will love this, and I like it. It's very fun as a makeup lover, and loving all the editorialness of this. Just gives fun and whimsical, and I really like it. This is not the first makeup brand that will do something out of the box, um, and I don't think they'll be the last. But that's the end of this video. Everything I tried on, I loved. Everything I tried on, I loved. And this wasn't like a review, it's just my first impression of what I thought. And this Violette FR, oh, I cannot wait. How do you guys say it? Violette France? I always say FR. Do you always say Violette France or do you say Violette FR? Because it is Violette France. um, really, really like it. Really like it. I can't wait to be able to wear it by itself. Maybe do like a thing. I don't know yet, but I'm excited to wear this again by itself and not mixing it with another color and just packing it on after I've done my makeup with powder all over. Anyway, that is it for this video. You see me in the next one.